male. The male.
This is turning into the Blair Witch Project tonight. This week, Ghost Next Door is in St Helens near Liverpool, and we're at the Millstreet Barracks, a 200-year-old military barracks which is said to be haunted by a very irascible old chap called Jack, and we're here to find out just how irascible Jack is.
I already feel like something's trying to strangle me in here.
This is completely different from anywhere we've been so far. Really, really vibey, massively.
Such a vast space. Hello guys.
Hey.
Hello girls, welcome to Millstreet Barracks. My name's Roy, this is Jamie.
Hello.
I suppose you want to get on with business, don't you?
Yeah, you're going to show us around, aren't you?
Well, if you want to go to where the main action is happening here at Millstreet, it is the cellar.
The cellar? Oh,
Yes,
It's
walk this way.
always in the darkest space.
it's always the scariest spaces as well.
Yeah,
This
so-
is such a great space.
Oh yeah, you don't get an idea of the spookiness of it being in this. But this can be pretty eerie at night time. But once you get beyond the doorway here, provided of course Jamie's got a key.
It's always in the cellar, isn't it?
Well,
The most haunted spots.
It's the scariest spaces.
Or the attics.
well,
Yeah.
we'll find. Hopefully they'll turn up.
Ominous already.
Be careful as you're coming down the steps. Well, one thing you've got to be aware of now is this particularly nasty beam that goes across here, which is be a bit naughty, so just be aware of that.
This is the middle room. What used to happen in here is the children used to train in here. The cadets, this is where they were before all the rooms were actually done out, renovated. But this, when we do ghost hunts here, this is one of my favourite rooms. Again, I'm not going to tell you why, but it's very atmospheric when it starts.
My first impression of this room is that it's actually quite a nice space. I don't feel anything particularly bad in here or negative, but I'm sure that might change later when we start connecting. Do you not think? Actually, upstairs, the entranceway with the staircase, that's where there's something horrible, for sure.
What came? This is something that you immediately noticed when you came in. Well, first of all, if I could just come back to this, when you came into here, that you feel okay with that. Is that your gut feeling, or is there something that you're picking up on that says this is a pretty placid place?
Well, I'm just going on in comparison from upstairs. When I entered, I instantly felt like I was being strangled, like something like this. That's why I could say that maybe it was an illness with that area, or maybe a spirit is actually doing that to me. So as I came through, the energy changes so entering this space,
Right.
I actually don't feel disturbed or anything. My body has been left alone.
Okay.
So that kind of suggests to me that there's nothing immediately malevolent.
Malevolent. What about yourself? Are you...
Yeah, I guess I feel okay, but it always changes when the second the lights come off. I get this really weird reaction whenever there's really strong spirits. I get really like watery eyes, and sometimes like tears come out. It's really strange. I don't know what happens. I haven't had that yet. Sometimes I feel like I want to vomit a bit in my throat. That happens when something's like touching me or right next to me.
Oh yeah. Also, I haven't started channeling yet, so I haven't really connected properly.
Right.
So just from the initial feeling, this place doesn't make me feel bad.
It's absolutely freezing in here. I'm gonna put my coat on. I feel like the temperature's dropped like massively compared to what it was upstairs and in the other rooms.
Jamie, you said this space was the schoolroom, but would this also have had corpses in it? Because I just got the sensation of corpses.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
As Jenny just said, when you walk into that room, you get a really strong sense of corpse. And my first job in life for my sins was working in a morgue. And there is this thing about corpses which is lifeless. They're like slabs of meat. They're like people but without something in them, which in my view is the soul. And that's what that room is like. But it's more than that, it's military corpses. These are people who've been injured in battle or have died as a result of injuries that they've sustained in battle, and they were kept in that room.
What you've just been saying then about this room, about them being military corpse and that, spot on.
Right.
It was the whole of this cell apart was where in the war times when people died or were injured, this is where they were brought, and they were, obviously when they died they were laid to rest here until they were taken to where they had to go.
Yeah, Jamie, that is really what I got really, really strongly. It's one of the clearest impressions that I've had in quite a few investigations that we've done. It really just hits you in the face. It's like the smell of death, actually. I mean, I've seen a lot of dead bodies, and there's this weird smell that they make, which is like rotting flowers. It's that sort of smell of when you take the water out of flowers. It's sort of like stinky flowers. That's what it's like, and that's what I got. When you go into an area where there are lots of dead people, like after a natural disaster, which I've done a lot, the smell goes up and down. I mean, like as you drive around, you can, without being too gross, you can smell how many dead people there are because it goes up and down. It rises up and down as you drive from town to town. It goes up and down.
This part of the building we actually call this the morgue. When we come down here, we say we're going to do an investigation in the morgue now, and this is where we come to this part.
Yeah.
So what you were saying is spot on, and I know, and Roy knows, I have not said anything to you at all tonight. So for you to get that would surprise me.
And I have to tell you that there are several of them standing behind me right now. Military people always connect with me really strongly and really quickly. I'm not quite sure why that is. Maybe it's because I was brought up in a military family and I kind of get it. But they are standing behind me now. It's very hard to concentrate and speak when this happens because you're so drawn by it. You're kind of conflicted between trying to have a conversation and the fact that they want to communicate with me.
From your point of view, Simon, when you went in there, from my point of view, can you explain to me what that feeling was like? I mean, obviously you're saying that there's people around here, but when you initially hit with that feeling?
Yeah, it is quite hard to articulate, but what it is literally like people that you're aware. When someone comes up behind you and you just know that they're coming up behind you, and the back of your neck, the hairs come up on the back of your neck, and you just know that someone's standing behind you. When that happened just now, there were three of them standing behind me in a dishevelled military uniform, and they're just standing there looking disconsolate. And as we were speaking, they just kind of shuffled off and disappeared, and they're going to come back, but they are around. It's like an echo in a valley. You hear it, you know it's there, but then it goes and then it comes back again. That's the best way I can explain it.
So, from your point of view, how does that fit with what you had, the sensation that you had when you walked into the room? Does that back up what you thought?
Yeah, so I'm clairsentient, which means that I get information into my head. So when I went in that room, I actually got a visual of corpses. So that's the sensation is similar to what Simon would have gotten.
Are you picking anything up, Cos?
I feel like someone is touching both my ankles and the back of my legs. Yeah. Jenny, someone there right now. Jenny can tend to see who it is, and I just get the sensations.
Would it be correct that some of the bodies that would have been in here would have been almost dead but not quite dead yet?
Yeah, that's been told. We have heard that before. So yeah, you're in the right direction there. Yeah.
I think they're probably in the heat of battle as well. That people have been brought in, and that that maybe there would be an element of terminal. Yeah, where they passed away, but possibly, I suppose, so it could be an element of that, couldn't there?
I just have the sensation and the visual of someone lying on the ground, unable to move most of their body, but like clawing for help. Like if that's why you feel something touching you, like they're trying to be like, please help me.
That's what it feels like.
But death's going to be imminent.
I feel like they're crawling up my legs as well, like on my right leg. It feels like someone's going like this, like higher.
It's someone with like bandaged and really completely covered in blood and dirt, and they've probably had their limbs blown off.
So from your point of view then, as well as you feel as though that's like they're trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
Yeah? Wow.
Yeah. It's weird because it feels like it's on my ankles, then I'll get sensations on the right leg. Yeah, literally I can envision.
I know what it is. Isabella was a nun in a past life. Were the nuns the ones that looked after the bodies, the corpses? Would they have been like with the nurses?
I can't exactly answer that one, but there were nurses around here, yeah.
Nurses.
Nuns, I'm not sure of.
Well, hang on, I could be well wide of the mark here, but there was a big convent not that far from here called, oh God, what's it called now? There is a convent. Now, I would hazard a guess, because of the nature of war, because of what nuns would do, it is possible. Layola Hall.
Layola Hall.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably, I would say, around about 4 miles away from here. So I'm not saying that it is the case, but if there was, a possibility of a connection, then that may be it.
Souls retain like the elements of their past lives. So souls that aren't in bodies can then see the imprints of the past lives. So if someone is wanting help from some, say, savior or like religious figure, and maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you get children a lot too, so maybe you're not very motherly in the past lives.
Yeah.
Whereas I just get witches.
I find this really emotional, and standing here while we're talking, is my sort of throat is filling up, and it's really hard not to cry, actually, because talking about nurses and, well, actually I always said angels there, which is really interesting. I wanted to say nurses and angels, but I was going to say nuns, and there is a really strong impression in here of the presence of these wonderful angelic beings who are caring for the injured here. And I think I'm right in saying that there is a church which is very, very near here, and I do get a very strong connection between what happened here with people dying here and the church next door.
I'm sorry to disturb you, but it's important this, because you'll know this, Jamie. If you look here, sorry, I was listening to your story, by the way, Simon.
Right.
But I don't know why. I just looked over here. You can see these holes. I don't know what these holes are for, Jamie. But when I was looking through there, because the light's on outside,
Right.
and something moved across there. When you were talking, something moved across there. Now, we are the only people in the building at the moment. That's it. We are the entire.
So you saw a.
Well, if you watch there, what I saw.
Right, last night when I was here, I had to come last night to show a couple of people around, and what we've done was to give them an experience. We've done a mini investigation in here, and we actually seen, which I'd never seen before in this corner, we had a light come in, and it was a really good clear light, and it was moving from
through the
around
holes.
there, and it was over there. Yeah, it actually moved that way.
Okay, I've got an idea. Can I make a suggestion that we turn the lights off, and I'm going to take some stills with my stills camera, because it's really good at picking up orbs, because I get the feeling that this thoroughfare here is really active, and I did when we came in. So I'm going to take some pictures here and see if we pick up anything, and I pretty much can guarantee that we will. So let's switch the lights off.
Turn all the lights off, yeah.
Yeah.
So can I just
I don't know if you can see the glow from my little camera here, but this trusty little compact camera has taken about 26,000 pictures of orbs for me over the last 10 years or so. And sometimes when we do this, we get an image straight away. So, oh God, the background just moved in. Oh, that's really weird. So whoever's here, I'm going to take your picture, and if you'd be kind enough to be in it for us, I'd be really grateful. So please let me connect with you and show yourself to me. That's what I just took. That's the shot that I just took that Jenny filmed. You can see that there. That is what we call an orb, and it was right there in the shot when we took it just now. That's the first picture I've taken down here, and that is a beautiful little orb. Well, that's one room. It's just freaked me out completely. Where should we look next, Roy?
I'll take your pick. I mean, there's loads of rooms. There's some up there. There's one on their side. There's one right in the end. I mean, this is a particularly interesting part up here, so we could go up there if you like.
Okay, Jamie, do you want to show us?
No,
Sorry,
I'm not going in there.
what?
No, I'm not going in there.
What do you mean not going in there?
But I won't go in there.
Sorry, I should have mentioned this. Jamie has mentioned this to me before, actually. You won't. He'll go in all the rooms. He knows the building inside and out more than anybody. He will go anywhere, but he won't go in there. So he might. Do you want to explain why that is?
Yeah, I mean, I just get a feeling, and it's a horrible feeling. I can't explain what it is. I'm quite happy to stand next to the door, but I'm not going in the room.
So, can we just clarify that the leader of the paranormal investigations, the leader of the paranormal investigations here at Millstreet Barracks in St Helens, won't go into that room, and he wants us to go into that room, so we're going to. Let's go. Let's go. This sounds really cruel, but Isabella, do you want to lead?
Oh my god, no, please don't.
Go on.
I just got this wave and I feel like I want to vomit. I don't want to go in there. I could already feel it out here.
What, are you okay to go in?
Well, yeah, I'll go with you guys. I just want to go first.
Are you crying?
No, it always happens. It's fine. It's not actually me crying. It's just spirit. When they touch me, I feel them. It's not my tears. It's just a physical reaction.
Physiological.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
it's
I'll
not
go
so good.
After you. Ladies first.
I don't know, it always
Hey.
happens.
Okay, I see what you mean.
That is a completely different vibe in this room. I mean, I know that the obvious, because of the way the room and that kind of derelict looking part of it there. But it is, there is, even for the lesser trained eye, a distinctive difference in the vibe in here. It's about you look like you're really struggling there, isn't
No,
it?
sorry, it always happens. Sorry, whenever there's really strong spirit.
Here, I'm going to give you something to do to concentrate. If you hold that, I'm going to.
Are you taking a reading?
Okay, so I'm going to take a reading with my dowsing crystal, which, when I use this, tells me if a place has positive energy or if it has negative energy, or if there's something controlling it. When it goes round and round, that's a good sign. And when it stays still, that's a bad sign. So I'm going to connect with the entity who is holding the energy in this room and see how that translates into this crystal. The energy is a direct expression of spirit presence or something malevolent, and this crystal is a way of just expressing that. Okay, now this is the worst kind of reading, where if you look very carefully at the crystal I'm holding it is just turning off. It's like actually coming off vertical, which is really weird. You know, it's not going round. And when it does that, it's quite a subtle thing, but when it does that, that tells me that there is something quite malevolent holding the energy in this room. And it's quite an angry soul. It's a male. And he is quite interested in the ladies here. Look at that! It's actually going right off the. It's going right off the vertical. Look at that. I can feel him willing it to do that. There's a very, very strong, angry presence here that wants to let us know that he's here, and he wants to make trouble. Oh, it's almost as if I mean, any minute now this crystal's just going to explode into 1,000 pieces. Is how it feels. He's standing here and he's doing this. He's just standing there, willing the crystal to move. There's a lot of energy in it, and he really wants us to know that he's here. He really wants to make his presence felt.
Does this tie in with anything that you're getting there as well?
Yeah, he's been touching my legs the whole time.
Yeah.
Why does every spirit touch my legs?
Because you're hot sauce.
Something you look really weird.
I know, you're sorry. I think it's trying to channel through.
Yeah, I mean, I'm connected to it, so sorry. But I have to say that this is a character that we did know about before we came in, and it's the guy that I mentioned at the door when I was talking at the beginning of the programme, the Jack guy, who is said to occupy this place, and I think this is him. He's a real character. He's has the ability to move things around. He has a sort of poltergeist ability. He's a very, very strong physical kind of ghost, kind of spirit, and I think I just hit the jackpot basically. I think that it is this guy Jack, the ghost next door, and he's nodding, and he's got his arms crossed. He's very proud of himself, and he says that he's going to make the evening for my friend who's standing behind the camera, Isabella, not a very pleasant evening, but we'll see about that. Don't worry, it's just talk. It's just talk from him. You know, he's a sort of a.
I keep getting whiffs of really bad smells.
Do you? Yeah.
Like it's all around my face. It comes and goes like something's breathing on me, but like really bad breath.
Yeah.
Sam, you know what you just said then? He wants to make it bad, but you were talking about, oh, it's not a problem, it's not a problem. Is he going to take that as a challenge if you're kind of demeaning what he's trying to do?
He will, but I'm really good at this, and you know, I spend a lot of my professional life getting rid of people like him for people who have this problem in their houses, and they're all bluster because they can't actually hurt us. They can just make us feel as if they can hurt us, and he is definitely one of those characters. And if I was here in a different capacity, my instinct would be to get rid of him, which he's really not happy about. But we're just visiting, we're going to leave you to it. We're not going to hurt you, we're not going to do anything to you, we're just making contact with you. And I don't want you to cause any distress or harm to my colleague Isabella.
It's funny you should mention the way Isabella's feeling. I mean, I don't regard myself as being the same as what you do, but
You're picking that up as well?
I wouldn't say I feel unwell, but I don't feel right.
No.
You know, and I mean that in an oppressive kind of way.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel my sort of spiritual battery going down while we're here. It's
that would be a good description.
You know, if we stand here for like half an hour, we will feel so drained because he's using our energy to manifest. But don't worry. Can you feel anything?
Did you just breathe on me?
I just sighed, so probably.
Okay, yeah.
So Roy, you were standing next to me when that happened. What did you feel?
Really oppressed. It's almost as if my head was clamped, and I'm not a medium, but it was almost as if with what was happening with Isabella, there was some kind of transference there. As if to say, this is how she's feeling, you can have a bit of that as well. And, you know, Jack, you got the name Jack. I mean, how does that fit with you, Jamie? Has that name come up before?
Yeah, loads of times. It's quite a prominent name, Jack, because when you said it, I mean, I was here, but when you said it, I looked straight away.
Sorry, but something...
Yeah, actually.
Whoa!
Can I just say that something walked behind?
No, hang on, something. I'm dead serious here. The first thing I saw could have been a fly. The second thing I saw was different, and then it was lower. That was shadow-like. Oh, hang on.
There's something moving around us.
Something just touched me on the back.
Yeah, I saw that. I just saw something move behind you, like a light move behind you there.
That did happen.
You two turning into the Chuckle Brothers.
That did happen.
I'm fine out here.
But there is something moving. It's very distracting because there is something that's moving around us. I saw it on that door, and then when you just jumped, I saw a white light move behind you there. I'm just going to take another snap in this room.
Yeah. That was
This is turning into the Blair Witch Project tonight.
What I do, I mean, you say things. Right?
Honestly, I think this is turning into one of the craziest things we've done yet.
if Roy says what he's saying, I believe him 100%.
Yeah.
I know Roy's
But you know, from when we've done stuff in here, because I'm dismissive of stuff, and I will undoubtedly be dismissive of stuff here this evening.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge believer in orbs, but I know what I saw. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, orb Jack, but level of this. That's who I'm pretty sure it was. This is amazing. Honestly, I feel like this is a gift from God tonight. We're just getting such amazing
he's
things.
massive.
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
God, he's really big.
Look at that. Can you see that? Yeah. So that's in the corner where I was just standing with my dowsing crystal, where I could feel the guy's anger. But I could feel the guy's anger and his irascibility. That was the word that I used, wasn't it, when I came in? I mean, we were laughing about my choice of English, but that's a picture in the corner where I was standing with my crystal, and that's the irascible spirit. And you know, I said that sort of almost in a light-hearted way in my introduction to the show tonight. Used the word irascible, but that just describes him perfectly, because that is him. Do you see that?
Yeah, I can see it at the door there. And you wonder why I won't go in there?
No, I don't. My sense is that thing is this spirit of Jack, whoever he is. And I know that we knew about him because he is our ghost next door this week, but I'm absolutely sure, 100% sure in my sort of sense that is the thing that is the thing that's called Jack. And, you know, skeptics will say, well, how do you know that? You know, you can't prove it, there's no evidence. No. But in my heart, I know who it is, and at least I'm able to sort of take a picture which gives some empirical evidence. You know, it's like, I mean, you can say, oh, I saw this light. I actually just took a picture of it right there.
I mean, I've seen paranormal groups come and go from here, and obviously information's all over the internet about this place because it's such a big place. You didn't go on the internet and research here when you were coming here tonight. I mean, the first time I heard was Roy ringing me up saying, can you open up at a certain time?
Well, I've not provided any details.
No, I mean, I've known you for quite a few years now, Roy. And, if I can trust anyone 100%, it's Roy.
The thing that is so amazing for me with this series, Ghost Next Door, is the way the synergy works between the three of us, between Jenny and Isabella and myself, because we just seem to act like a lightning rod, and we get really authentic feelings, we get really authentic reactions. And like I just took the picture with my camera, we get empirical evidence, and it's absolutely incredible. I mean, I have never had an experience like this in my life.
Okay, the room you're going in now, this is the boiler room. At first we thought it was the mortuary, because we thought it was, but we found out recently through history that this is now what we call the boiler room. So it's the only room down here what's bricked off. As you can see, the emergency exit, which you'll never get out of there anyway, but there's talks that this could be the tunnel which goes through to the church.
There's a door, you can see there's a big hinge there. I mean, so where would that have gone to, Jamie? Do we know?
We don't know. I mean, the talk is the church is just here. So this could have been, a walk through to the church.
I think someone was killed in here.
In here? In this building, this room?
This space. I think something that no one else knows about, a secret happened here. And the person's residing is really angry and bitter about everybody else. It just is. I think it's the one that was killed. I feel like the body's been buried and it's hidden somewhere, like in this. I know what happened. It was a female and she was killed in here. She was killed in here.
Who by?
Male. It's a male. Great, she's just feeling angry.
Can you tell us anything more? There's obviously a lot of anger with the way that she died, and she's very angry now.
He tried to restrain her and she couldn't move.
She was raped. And then he buried her in here. Was he a soldier?
Older. He was older.
Was his name Jack by any chance?
Right. Were they
Jenny, was his name Jack?
No. No. I think he was a higher up general or something with like a dark swept back hair. Oh, that. Okay, it's fine. I think she's left me.
You need to redo your makeup.
Oh my god, that was really intense.
Yeah, it was.
So is that person just put a vision to you? What described to you what a killer was like?
She's the one that rings the bell.
Ah.
Have you got any name? Do you get names at all, or do you just get the feelings?
Well, you said name, and all I got there was Jill. Jill. I don't know though.
Jack and Jill.
No, definitely no Jill.
Actually, if that happens, I'm totally fine. Like, I'm inside my head, and I'm just observing. It's my body, so it's them. It's their emotion that uses my body that comes out. So as soon as they leave my body, I'm like,
Right.
hi guys, fine, I'm back. It's really uncomfortable to watch, so I'm sorry.
I know this is an awful thing for me to say to you because I've seen the kind of trauma that you seem to be going through here, but I mean, I'm intrigued by this, and is there something, can we establish some kind of a communication? I would like to see if we can get something come through, and I know it's putting you on the line here because I can see what it's doing to you. But
Well,
it's fascinating. It's fascinating.
I think maybe if it happens again, if you talk to me,
Right? Yeah.
then
sure.
maybe, because Simon, you asked me questions, and I think that was her responding, like giving you the information.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how it works.
There's chairs in there. Is it worth us getting in a much more relaxed situation? Would that help yours?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Would it?
Should we try that?
There is a
let's chill
female.
out with it, as it were.
Yeah, there is a female down here, which I'm very
Whoa, hang on.
aware of.
You must have felt that then. That was. I'm not talking about a breath. I'm talking about a proper gust of wind.
That's not her. That's someone else.
Yeah.
It's on it.
That's
Twice
someone,
that's happened.
That's
there.
that's the nasty one.
I've been here with Jamie, and Jamie will back this up. We've seen many things here, but we've never seen anything like this, where somebody is really being overcome by what appears to be some kind of spirit entity. What I want to try and do here, because as you can see what's happening.
I know who she was. She was a nurse, and someone took her in here when they were doing all the action with the rooms next door and her looking after people.
What happened?
He pulled her through here because there was the tunnel in here. I know it was quite. Oh, she's not as young as I thought she was. She's maybe like in her 30s or something. 30s. Really. Light brown hair, curls, tucked up under. What is it she's doing? She was afraid of him because he.
Did he have rank? Did he have rank?
He did, and there was nothing that she could do about it.
Was it there were elements that she might not be believed if she said anything? Would people have believed her if she'd have said she'd been attacked?
She told somebody. She told the nurse that was her superior, and she said that that's just how it goes. That's how it goes. It's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. What do you do? I think he raped her more than once.
Do we know when this was? First World War.
So she was so innocent.
How old were you when you came here?
19. felt sorry for the soldiers. I felt sorry for the soldiers.
Did you have a man? Did you have a husband, wife?
I can see him. I can see him. He's a horrible, snooty, horrible older man with like.
Look at the bell. Put the light on the bell.
Wow. Bell's moving. Why did she ring that bell?
She's agreeing with you. She's telling you that you're on the right track.
The question that I would like to ask, and take your time if you needed to answer it. How did this person kill you?
Told you already.
Tell me again, please. What did he do?
Held her down. Crushed her.
Did he crush her throat?
Crushed her.
Well, he got his fingers around her throat,
Crushed
crushed her throat. And that's. Do you know what? That's why you were picking that up when you came in.
Crushed her.
The first thing that happened when you came into this building was you started clawing at your throat and saying, "It's my throat, it's my throat."
She couldn't move her body.
He got away with it.
That's so sad. She's so angry though. I feel so sorry for her. I don't know how to like.
How did they explain her death?
Oh, they blamed it on someone else. They did. They blamed it on one of the lower ranking soldiers that had They did. Yes, they did. They said it was something to do with someone else from like one of their rooms that had got too close to her and had went crazy and like suffocated her.
Okay.
But it wasn't.
What did they do to that person? Do we know? Can we tell?
Take him.
This place has got horrible memories for you. Why do you come back?
She didn't go. She's never left. She didn't leave here ever.
Would you like to go? Would you like to go to a better place?
I don't think she knows how to.
So what just happened in there was extraordinary. Jenny picked up on the spirit of a dead, it seems, nurse who met a very, very unpleasant end at the hands of a very unpleasant man.
You were sat right beside me, so how did you feel when a spirit was using my body?
Well, to me, I have to say that it seemed pretty genuine to me. Because, I mean, if, for the sake of arguments, somebody would have been absolutely faking that, I would have probably started laughing, in truth. But I didn't, because the conversation, as much as I could, that I was having with you, seemed pretty genuine. It was a two-way conversation. I was asking you questions, even though you were acting as a third party, if you like, relaying the information. I felt as though that was a legitimate kind of communication that I was having, and for me that's an experience I've not had an awful lot of.
I found it interesting when you come up with the military stuff, you know, this was a morgue, because when you first come in and you did ask me a couple of questions and I wouldn't answer them to you, and then when you come out with the information in there about the bodies, and I found that was my favourite part of the night, actually.
Well, that's another amazing episode of Ghost Next Door completed. What an incredible evening we've had at Millstreet Barracks here in St Helens. We've really enjoyed it, although at times it didn't look like we were, but we really did, and we hope you did too. So see you again soon on Ghost Next Door.